Hi guys, my name is Karthik and I am from AzureAutomation.com and welcome to another video of our Katalon Studio course. And in this video, we are going to be talking about working with Katalium Framework. And this video is a continuation of our previous video where we talked about an introduction of Katalium Framework. And we also installed the Katalium Framework in VS Code. And also we saw how to get started and run a very super simple template code which was provided by the Katalium installation itself. And in this video, we are going to be write our own code, and we also see how we can see the report in the Katalon Analytics using the code that we're going to be writing. All right, so let's get started. So for that, I'm going to flip to my VS Code IDE. All right, so now I'm in my VS Code IDE, and you can see that this is the same project that we saw in our previous video. And in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these codes that you are seeing in here with the Cura apartment page or Cura apartment confirmation, home page and login page, because these are something the team are using within their own project. So I probably don't really need to use these code because I'm going to write a very super simple code that is already available within my GitHub repos of Azure Automation. So I'm just going to be using that. So if you go to the GitHub of Execute Automation, and if you go all the way to the repositories, and if you go to the recently updated Selenium with Cucumber, and if you go to the source Java and to the pages, you can see there is something called as login page, and you can see this is the same code that we can extend for our this particular project as well. So this code is actually from the application, which is nothing but the eaapp.sawme.com. So if I go over here, this is one of the Azure Automation's demo application, which you can use for testing your application. It's built using ASP.NET. So you can click the login button, enter the username and password, click the login, and you can see it brings you up some additional options here like employee details and manage users as well. So the whole test is going to be around this one. So I'm just going to enter the username and password in the login, and I'm going to see if the employee details link comes up or not. Right. So this is the test that we'll be writing in this particular video. And once again, I'm really not going to be typing any value in here. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly show you how to write this particular code. So in order to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete these class files, which I probably don't really require. And I'm going to delete them as well. And I'm going to create pages here. So let's call this as homepage. So this is how you can actually update your code as well based on your project. So that's why I'm actually doing something like this, which is kind of crazy, but you can see that by doing this, I can still achieve the execution of code, which is pretty simple as well. So if I go to the home page, if I just copy paste this particular code, you can see that it shows me up these things, and it tells that the sample of the pages does not really exist. So let's just ignore this for now. I'm just gonna save this, and I'm gonna go to the login page over here, and I'm just going to write code something like this. I'm just gonna save this, and you can see that it is gonna bring up things for us from the page template. So I'm just gonna save this whole thing, and I'm gonna exit this particular VS Code IDE, and I'm gonna open the VS Code once again from here so that it loads up things for us. And now you can see that the error that we were seeing with the sample of the page is gone. And also, if I just control click this particular page template, it also shows me the definition of the page template, which was not displaying before. And now it also highlights the web elements and stuff, which is like automatically showing you the metadata. VS Code automatically installs the Java SDK for Visual Studio Code for us, and it does everything for us automagically. So now you can also navigate into those definitions of the types for each and every elements available within the particular classes. So you can see that once I click this particular page template, it automatically decompiles things for us, and it shows us the class file for that particular definitions as well, which is pretty cool. So now everything is good. We have already created the login page class and the home page class, and now we also need to write the login or test file. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete all the existing test cases that we have in here, and these particular pages are kind of void right now. We don't really have them as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call the home page and the login page over here, something like this. And if you click this particular bulb symbol here, you can see that it shows you import the home page. So you can import that. Similarly, you can also import the login page over here, right? And then we need to write the actual test case itself. So the test case I'm going to do this time is going to be exactly like how the sample code was for the Katalon Studios. So I'm going to be doing exactly the same thing. I'm going to open the EA home page, going to click the login page. I'm going to enter the username and password, as you can see here, which is going to be the send keys method. And again, guys, the send keys method is going to be exactly the same send keys which is coming from Selenium. So Katalon team has not did any wrapper for the send keys here. It's going to be exactly using the same org.openqa.selenium.web elements of send keys. So you can see that these are going to be reminding the same thing like how you do for Selenium as well. So you're going to see there is a driver.quit. So they are pretty much exactly the same like how it used to be for the Selenium. Right, so now everything is fine, and let's also go to the TestNG.xml file, and as you can see now this particular fully qualified namespace is going to be a little bit wrong because it's not make appointment test, it is going to be login test. So we're going to write that over here. We don't really we have a parameterized test in here, but it is kind of not valid right now, so probably I'm even going to delete the parameterized test here completely. So let me delete that for now. You can see that this guy is going to be void as well. I'm just going to save this. And if you go to the TestNG of parallel XML file, so we can probably do one thing here. For the TestNG.xml file that we have, I'm just going to copy this, going to go to the parallel XML file, and I'm gonna paste this guy over here. And for the parameterized test, since we don't really have it, so I'm just gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste this guy over here as well. But maybe instead of copy pasting this, because I'm not gonna execute this in the parallel for this demonstration, we can probably comment this particular piece of code for now. We can probably just add one more test case in the login test. As you can see, this is the positive scenario. Maybe we can write one more scenario which is going to be like a negative scenario, which is going to make this test to fail because I'm going to enter a wrong password so that I can enter that, make the test to fail. As you can see, I'm just adding a concatenation of 232, something like that, so that the password is wrong and the test will eventually fail. So that's what I'm trying to do in here. And you can see that I have also changed the constant.java file before starting this video is this one. As you can see, I have created a base URL of eaapp.sami.com, which was a different URL before with the Katalon's demo site, and it was and it also had a Katalon username and password. So I changed my username and password in here for this application. So I guess these are the changes that I really require to make. And now if I try to run this test, hopefully the test will run, but I'm not sure because this is the first time we're executing. So let's see what's going to basically happen. So it should spawn a browser for us. Oops, it has got the failure. So let's see what's going to basically happen. It says there is a illegal state exception. It's because of the Selenium driver server was not running, which is nothing but the Katalium server. So I'm just gonna start the server here. So let's try to run this because we just closed and restarted the Visual Studio Code and the server just got stopped. So the server should be up and running. So now we can see that it is initiating the Chrome driver. So it is running in the Chrome right now. So it enters the username and password. That's an invalid attempt, and that is a correct attempt. And you can see that now it is running. So, but there is this problem like no such element exception happens if there is no such element once you enter the username and password. So you need to somehow handle that within your code. So it is not Katalon who can do it for you. You should probably handle that because you're using the page object model in here and the particular element does not really exist. This particular error is going to happen. So we should make sure that we either add an implicit wait, or maybe we should add a mechanism to handle this error. Again, those things I have discussed in my advanced video series in Udemy for the advanced framework development and Selenium Java course, but not in here because this is going to be more like a basic Selenium code, by the way. So I'm just going to leave this guy as it is for now, but this proves the point that this particular code is actually running with the very super simple changes, and you can see that we now have a template of codes in here. It's more like a place where you can get started with the code much easily. But the final thing that I'm going to show in this video before we wrap up is the Katalon Analytics server itself. So as you know, in here with the Katalon Analytics server, so if you go to the analytics of katalon.com, which is something you need to sign up. If you have not signed up, please go ahead and sign up. I have already signed up the Katalon Analytics and I already have a Katalon Analytics credential for me. So I have already showed the demo of the Katalon Analytics many times in my other videos. So please go ahead and watch there if you have not watched there. So the one which project I'm going to be using this time is going to be the Katalium EA, which is something you can see that it already has some execution over here, that you can see that it has executed the test code for us and it shows all the result. So probably what I can do is I can use the same project of the Katalon Analytics. I'm going to link this or maybe I can create a new one. All you're going to do is you need to have a Katalon Analytics credentials, and then you got to go to your profile, as you can see in here. And then there is something called as an API key. So this API key is something that you can create your own. So if you just go to the create API key and give a name. So I'm going to say demo key. I'm going to hit create. So it's going to create a new key for me. And now I can just copy this key and I can come all the way to my Kata default properties in here. And then I can paste this guy over here. So this is gonna create a link between my code with the Katalon Analytics. So now you can see that by default it is showing you a project ID. So that's the reason I was saying that we're gonna use the old project that I already have within my Katalon Analytics, which is nothing but the Katalium EA. So you can see that there is a project ID of 34798. So I can just use that. So I'm just going to enter 34798. But if you're wondering how to create a project if you don't really have a project, and once again I have already discussed about that in our earlier videos of Katalon Analytics video series. But if you have not watched that, please go ahead and watch that. If not, you can also create the project by your own, but I'm not going to show you how to create the projects and stuff. I'm directly going to enter the existing project, which is nothing but this one, and we need to enter the Katalon API key and the Katalon email address in here. So I'm just going to say Katalon API key, which is nothing but the key that I just copied, and then I'm going to enter the Katalon email address, which is the email address I'm using for logging in. So I'm just going to enter my email in here for entering into it, right? So that's it, guys. This is the only thing that I need to do for talking with the Katalon Analytics with the real-time monitoring feature, which is available within Katalon Analytics. So I'm just going to save this guy right now, and let's try to run this particular code. You can see that this time it is gonna start talking with the Katalon Analytics server as well. So you can see that it is now trying to open the browser, which is pretty much like how it did before. And now you can see that it shows you an uploading report option. So this uploading report is nothing but it is now talking to the Katalon's server. By the way, it is uploading your actual TestNG test files, which is actually sitting under the target of the Surefire reports folder. So these files are going to be uploaded into the server, and you can see that it has also shown you the execution URL, which is the execution just happened. So if I just click this guy, or maybe you can just copy this URL, and I'm gonna go all the way to the browser. I'm gonna paste it, I'm gonna hit enter, and you can see that it actually shows you a report right now. Pretty cool. So it shows you the failures and how many tests has got passed. So basically one test got passed and one test got failed in the suite 1. And once I click that, it shows me the execution history as well. A very, very nice report, guys. It also shows you a trend report, by the way. So it shows you all the execution that has happened, and that's why I'm using this particular project ID, because I have already executed some test in there. So you can see there is a trend of the passing and the failure reports. So it shows you how long it takes the test to be executed for that particular suite, and it says like a minute ago the test got started. And if I click the suite 1, it shows me the test run stuff, and it shows the test run log file as well. So should log in with wrong password, right? So this is the one that we just did while we were running the test. This one should log in with wrong password. So it shows in here as well. So you can click that, and it shows you the log for that particular test as well. So all the failures that you see in VS Code is actually coming in over here for you. Very, very verbose information. And it also shows you the log files, guys. So these logs are nothing but the logs that we just entered while we are trying to perform an action. Let's say I did the open EA homepage, and similarly I did the log of click the login, and similarly in homepage, something like that. So all those log information is also going to be displayed over here, which is pretty cool. And if there is any API calls and stuff, you can also see the request in here, and you can also see any comments that you can put for the particular execution. So you can see the history of executions as well over here for that particular test. So these are the things that you can see within Katalon Analytics, and that's the power of this whole Katalium framework itself. So basically you're going to do a real-time monitoring of the test execution directly Katalon Analytics using the Katalium framework with a very, very small code chains that you're going to make within the Kata default properties. So this is the only thing that you need to add to talk with your Katalon Analytics, and then you can see the real-time report coming in. So that's it, guys. This is how you can actually work with the Katalium framework and also the Katalium server, and how you can communicate with the Katalon Analytics in much, much easier fashion. And once again, thank you very much for watching this video, and have a great day.